morning and a warm welcome to the students of Srimati Aristolaria Primary School English Medium Junagadh. My name is Nakshila Khani and today I am going to teach you a topic of social of Standard 8 and the chapter name is Arrival of Europeans in India. This chapter is related to history. Now in this particular chapter we are going to discuss about this particular topics, that is discovery. First of all, we are going to start with the discovery of the new sea route to our country India. The second topic is Christopher Columbus. The third one, that is Vasco da Gama and the Portuguese rule in our country India. The fourth one, that is the Dutch. Fifth, British interest in our country India. And the next one, that is the French people who came to our country India with the intention of the trade. The next one, that is British trade in our country, British trade in Bengal in our country India. The next topic, that is Battle of Plassey, and later on at class we are going to study about the Battle of Buxar. So let us start with the explanation with the first topic, discovery of new sea route to our country India. With the particular topic, that is the discovery, the first topic, that is the discovery of a sea route to our country India. Now previously all the Portuguese, Dutch, French, Britishers, whosoever, Sultans, Mughals, Rajputs were ruling in our country India. During that time, all the European countries just came to our country India with the intention of the trade. Now here, it is being said that earlier, the merchants from the various countries came to our country India from the northwest to have a trade in our country India. Now here, by the land route, they were having the particular trade relations with our country India. But most probably, as the time went on, there was a problems by the land route in our country India. So the trade through the land route was completely stopped. Now our Indian commodities like black pepper, spices, muslin, many things, the cotton, silk and many of the precious things were very famous in the European market. So now it was a compulsory from the European countries to have the advantages of all these things, and because of that only they decided to find a sea route to our country India. Now the first person who just decided, I am again repeating, the first person who just decided to find a sea route to our country India, that was Christopher Columbus. Vasco da Gama was a person who found a sea route to our country India. Christopher Columbus was a person who decided to find a sea route to our country India. Now let us study the next topic, that is Christopher Columbus. Now Christopher Columbus was an Italian explorer who just made a first effort to discover, to find a sea route to our country India. He was belonging to the country that was Italy. Now this person just admired that starting from the east to west, he is going to reach the country India. Just moving in the straight position, that is from east to west, he is going to discover the sea route to our country India. But the particular thinking of Christopher Columbus was something incorrect, and because of that only he started his journey to reach our country India, but actually he did not reach or find a sea route to our country India. He reached the part of America. Till the last age of his life, he was having the misconception that he discovered India, but actually it was not India, it was America, and that part of India still also, which was been discovered by Christopher Columbus, that Caribbean island is known as West Indies, and the people who are living there, they are named as Red Indians. So this particular misconception which was being done by Christopher Columbus till the last end of his life, he was thinking like that way, that he had discovered India, but actually It was not India, it was America. Now, moving towards the next topic, that is Vasco da Gama. Now here, Vasco da Gama was a person who was belonging to the Portugal country. Now, this person decided, the second person who decided to find a sea route to our country, India. So this person, Vasco da Gama, was a Portugal explorer who was belonging to the Portugal country, decided to find a sea route to our country, India. And he just started his journey from the Portugal, Lisbon, coming towards the southern side of the part of South Africa that was Cape of Good Hope. Nowadays we are knowing that particular Cape of Good Hope as the Cape Town, part of South Africa country. So here, starting his journey from Lisbon, he just come down to the particular part that was Cape of Good Hope, and circling that particular part, crossing the particular part, he just reached our country India on the part of Calicut. That is one of the part of our country India on 22nd May 1498. During that time, Zamorin, the King Zamorin was ruling in the particular Calicut part of our country India. He was very much excited by seeing one of the European country, one of the European people just visited our country India, and he just welcomed this particular Vasco da Gama with a great welcome. Later on, this person, Vasco da Gama, along with the explorer, just asked the permission from Zamorin to establish their fort, and along with establishing their fort, they want to have a trade in our country India. So in the year 1498, after 2 years, Portuguese established their fort in Calicut in the year 1500 CE. Later on, after 6 years, they captured our part of Goa, and within 100 years of span of time, they started ruling in Mangalore, Kochi, Goa, Diu, Mumbai, and the islands of Lanka. Now, within 100 years of span of time, the Portuguese people, along with Vasco da Gama, they came to our country India with the intention of the trade. But slowly and gradually, they come to realize that in our country India, as we don't have unity, still also in our country India, we are not having the unity, and because of that only, we are still a developing nation, not just included in the developed nation. So, Portuguese come to realize that we don't have unity in our country India, and because of that only, because of the lack of not unity in our country India, they started ruling in our country India. So, Portuguese were the first people who came to our country India, and French were the last who came to our country India. Now, slowly and gradually, they moved towards the part of Bengal. Now, they established their trading centers in the part of Bengal in the 17th century. Now, the behavior during that time in Delhi, Shah Jahan was ruling. Now, the Subedar of Bengal just complained about the behavior of the Portuguese people, and just getting frustrated, Shah Jahan ordered Subedar of Bengal to burn all the ships of the Portuguese people which were on the banks of river Hooghly. And later on, after doing this particular activity, Portuguese rule came to an end, and they just have the ruling territories that was Diu, Daman and Goa. Now let us study about the next topic, that is the Dutch people. Already I have just informed you and said you that Portuguese were the first people who came to our country India with the intention of the trade, but slowly and gradually they come to realize that we don't have unity in ourselves, and because of that only they started ruling in our country India for so many years. Now during that time, when in the beginning they started their ruling, just established their forts in the Bengal, during that time Shah Jahan just ordered to demolish all the ships which was belonging to Portuguese people, and because of that only the Portuguese rule came to an end and get limited to Diu, Daman and Goa. Now the Dutch people, after after 100 years of the arrival of Portuguese at the end of the 16th century, the Dutch of the Hollands came to our country India. Whosoever, the Portuguese people, the Dutch, the French, the Britishers, whosoever came to our country India, they all were having only one intention, to have a trade in our country India. But later on, as we were lacking for the unity in our country India, they slowly started ruling in our country India. Now here, they established their forts in Pulicat, Agra and Madras. So later on, during that time, the Britishers, when this particular Dutch people were having their trade centers, forts in our country India, during that time in the 16th century, the arrival of the Britishers was there in our country India. Comparing with the Portuguese, Dutch, French, Britishers just live in our country India, stayed in our country India for more than 200 years, and they started ruling in our country India from the year 1857 and was ending the ruling system in our country India, that was the year 1947. For 90 years they ruled in our country India, and for more than 200 years they stayed in our country India. So during when the Portuguese and the Dutch people were living in our country India, during that time in the 16th century, Britishers came to our country India, and Dutch country was not that much capable to fight against the British, and because of that only they had to move from our country India, as they were being defeated by the Britishers or British East India Company. Now here, what was the British interest in our country India? Now already we are familiar that our Indian commodities, that was black pepper, salt and many of the things, silk, this muslin of Dhaka, everything was famous in the European market, and they all were in a great demand. So in the 16th century, that was in the year 1600 CE, Britishers just with the permission of Queen Elizabeth of England decided to establish one of the company named as East India Company. We can also say that British East India Company or East India Company, both are the same. So in the year 1600 CE, with the particular permission of Queen Elizabeth of England, they established the particular company named as British East India Company or East India Company. Now, after 80 years, in the year 1608, they came to our country India. The reason behind the gap of 80 years, they want to know the strategy and the mentality of the people of our country India. So they were making a planning how they can have a trading relations with our country India. And after just giving the permission for this particular trade, that was in the year 1600 CE, after 3 years only, Queen Elizabeth was being there. Now here, this company belongs to the merchants who wanted to increase their wealth by undertaking the trade with our country India. So they were thinking, and they were just having the planning that how by exporting the goods from our country India, they are going to get more and more benefit from our country India. You know, students, most probably England or the British East India Company and the people, the Britishers were having the intention to increase the economic, to improve the economic system of England by the particular currency or the rupees of our country India. Now, who was the first person, like in Portuguese or in Portugal, Vasco da Gama was the first person who set his foot in our country India. In the same way, the first Britisher who came to our country India with the intention of that was Warren Hawkins. The captain of the ship was the first British to set a foot in our country India. Now during that time, Jahangir was ruling in Surat. So he just refused not to give the permission to W. Hawkins. So later on, Sir Thomas Roy started giving a bribe with different precious things from the England. He was always Sir Thomas Roy. Later on, after started giving a bribe of very precious things to Jahangir, and later on they got with this particular intention in the year 1615, Sir Thomas Roy got a permission to have a trade in Surat. Later on, they also got the permission to have a trade in Bengal. So by this way, in the 16th century, they started having a trade relation in our country, India. Now already I have said you that Portuguese were the first. Later on, the Dutch people came to our country, India. The third one, that was the Britishers, came to our country, India. The last European country who came to our country, India, that was the French people. Now here it is being said that the French established, like the Britishers, as Britishers established British East India Company, in the same way the French people, before coming to our country, India, they established the French East India Company in the year 1664 CE. Now, Joseph Dupleix, who was one of the important person of the French country, was designing and admiring and just dreaming to increase the wealth of the French country by having just establishing their rule in our country, India. So they started just establishing their factories in Surat, Machilipatnam and Pondicherry. But later on, there was a numerous fight with the French along with the Britishers. An innumerable fight was between both of them. But as the Britishers were more powerful, they defeated the French people, and the French people have got limited territories to rule out. That was Pondicherry, Mar and the Chandranagar. Now let us study about the British trade in Bengal. Now already we just discussed about the Britishers came to our country, India, in the year 1608 CE. Later on, from 1650, Britishers got a chance from the Jahangir Shah to have a trade in our country, India. Slowly and gradually, they started having the interest in Bengal, because Bengal was the biggest center to have the import and the export of the goods from our country, India to the European countries, that was England. So, in the year 1651, already they came to our country, India, in the 16th century, that was the year 1608. Later on, they convinced the Mughals to have a trade in our country, India, and that was being done by Sir Thomas Roy. So in the year 1651, the British first started their trade on the banks of river Hooghly and established forts in the year 1651 CE. Now, during that time, Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb was ruling in the part of that particular Bengal. So he just been impressed by the people of the England, that was the Britishers, as they were also giving many of the bribes to Aurangzeb. He decided to allow only the British East India Company to have a trade without paying the taxes. So it was a rule finalized by Aurangzeb, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, who was considered to be the downfall of the Mughal Empire in our country, India. So Aurangzeb just grant the permission for only the British East India Company to have a trade in Bengal, but not to pay the taxes. Now we all are familiar to run any of the part of the country, to run a particular country, there is a need for paying the taxes. The citizen of the nation, with one or the other reason, income tax, toll tax, we are paying the taxes. So now this situation, the Bengal, which was considered to be the largest center for the trade in our country, India, slowly and gradually, as the Britishers were having a trade in bulk. So later on, after getting the permission to have a trade in Bengal without paying the taxes, it was a difficult task for the Bengal, the Nawab of Bengal, to handle the situation of the Bengal, because the income was less and Britishers were getting a lots of profit. Now here, as per the order passed in Bengal, only the company, that was the British East India Company, availed the benefit of tax-free trading. but later on, however, many British officers who were engaged, who was not a part of British East India Company, only Aurangzeb gave the permission that the British East India merchants only have the right to have a trade in India without paying the taxes. But now, later on, this benefit was being taken by the Britishers. Officers who were working in the private trade, they all were not paying the taxes, and slowly and gradually, as the British East India Company and the British officers were not paying the taxes, they were getting the benefits a lot, but not giving any benefit to the people of the Bengal and the Nawab of Bengal. As a result, as there was not paying of the taxes, the particular management of the Bengal started declining, where the in tax collection in Bengal completely reduced. So the first one who just opposed to the Britishers and the British East India Company to pay the taxes, that was Murshid Ali Khan. Later on, he just asked to the Britishers and the British East India Company to pay the taxes, but they did not agree with Murshid Ali Khan. That was being implemented with the next one, that was Ali Vardi Khan. The same view, the same opinion was also being kept by Ali Vardi Khan in front of the British East India Company. These all people were only saying that you just do the trade, but you have to pay the taxes. If you are not going to pay the taxes, then the management of the Bengal is not possible. But now the third one, that was Siraj ud-Dawla, was very firm, very efficient, and a very brave ruler. And after this, Murshid Ali Khan and Ali Vardi Khan, Siraj ud-Dawla came to the throne in the year 1756. Now this person, this Nawab, that was Siraj ud-Dawla, just in the year 1756, he became the Nawab of Bengal. Now he was a person who was very firm to his decision. He just said to each and every European country, to the French, to the Portuguese, to the Dutch, and the Britishers there, and also to the Indian traders, that whosoever want to have a trade in my Bengal, they have to compulsorily have to pay the taxes. Now other countries and the other people were, including our Indian merchants, were paying the taxes. Only the Britishers were not paying the taxes. Now Britishers convinced Siraj ud-Dawla to just be in his support, but Siraj ud-Dawla, with one opinion, with one of the topic, he was sticked with that particular topic, that whosoever, I am not clarifying that Britishers, French, Portuguese or Indians, all the people who want to have a trade in my Bengal, they have to compulsorily pay the taxes. Now Britishers were not able to have the negotiation or talk with Siraj ud-Dawla. They were not able to convince Siraj ud-Dawla, so they started supporting the competitors of Siraj ud-Dawla. Later on, in the year 1757, Robert Clive was being called from England to handle Siraj ud-Dawla and the matter of Bengal. So Robert Clive came to our country India, and within 1 year there was a fight between Siraj ud-Dawla and the Britishers along with Robert Clive, and that was named as Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey is a turning point for the Britishers to establish their political power. We always admire when we are seeing the match, always the commentary is like that way. This was the turning point for the team to win or to lose. In the same way, Siraj ud-Dawla, and there was a first battle between the Britishers and the Nawab of Bengal, that was Siraj ud-Dawla, that was named as Battle of Plassey. And this is known as the turning point for the Britishers to establish their political power in our country, India. So, in that particular battle, Siraj ud-Dawla, Commander-in-Chief, that was Mir Jafar, was being bribed by Robert Clive. Robert Clive just promised Mir Jafar that if you are going to support us, because it was a difficult task for the Britishers to defeat Sirajuddaula in the battle. So by cheating they want to defeat Sirajuddaula, and because of that only they just given the bribe to Mir Jafar that if you are going to support us in defeating and having the murder of Sirajuddaula, then you will be the next Nawab of the Bengal after the death of Sirajuddaula. And in the battle, with the support of Mir Jafar, Robert Clive just defeated Sirajuddaula and just murdered Sirajuddaula on the battlefield. And by this way, this was the first battle for the Britishers to defeat with the cheating. There also we can say, we can just admire, as we don't have unity in ourselves. If during that time Mir Jafar did not support Robert Clive to defeat Sirajuddaula, then for 200 years they can't stay in our country India, or for 90 years they never ruled in our country India. So after the death of Sirajuddaula, as per the promise done by Robert Clive, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal, and Robert Clive again went back to the England. Topic, that is the Battle of Buxar. Now already we studied about the Battle of Plassey, which was fought between the Sirajuddaula and Robert Clive along with the British East India Company. Now that was a turning point for the Britishers to establish their not ruling system, but the political system, political power in our country India. Now the second, already Robert Clive promised Mir Jafar, as he is going to support in the Battle of Plassey to defeat Sirajuddaula, he will be the next Nawab of Bengal. As per the promise, he was just declared, just made the Nawab of Bengal. Robert Clive again went back to England. After few time, as Murshid Ali Khan, Ali Vardi Khan and Sirajuddaula was facing the problem of not having the maintenance of the Bengal, in the same way when Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal, he just faced the same problem for maintaining the problems of the Bengal. Now here, after Mir Jafar became Nawab of Bengal, he became hostile towards the Britishers. Now he started opposing the particular decision of the Britishers, and later on Britishers decided and just admire. Now they just come to realize that Mir Jafar is of no use, and because of that only Mir Jafar was being replaced by his son-in-law that was named as Mir Qasim. Later on, Mir Qasim was an efficient and a very brave ruler. Again, I want to tell you the problem which was being faced by Murshid Ali Khan, Ali Vardi Khan, Sirajuddaula and Mir Jafar. In the same way, when becoming the Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim also faced the same problem. And because of that only, the problem arose between Mir Qasim and the company, this company, that is the British East India Company, on account of not paying the taxes, which ultimately resulted into the war. And there was a war between Mir Qasim and the Britishers. In that particular battle, Mir Qasim was able to run away, escape himself away from the battlefield. Now he decided to have a combined army with the support of the other rulers, and he just reorganized his army along with the forces of Nawab of Oudh, Sujatullah and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Now in the year 1757, the first battle, that was Battle of Plassey. Later on in the year 1764, there was a Battle of Buxar. In this particular battle, again, British East India Company just defeated Mir Qasim in the war, and Awadh and Mughal Empire was under the company rule. So in the same way, by these two particular battles, that was Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar, they just started their political career in our country India from the year 1857, when we were having the first revolt against the Britishers. Later on, from 1857 to 1947, they ruled in our country India for 90 years. So here I want to tell you that after Mir Qasim was being defeated in the Battle of Buxar, that was in the year 1764, 1554. Mir Zafar for 1 year become the Nawab of Bengal. After the death of this Mir Zafar, Robert Clive himself become the Nawab of Bengal. So here I am completing with my chapter, that is the arrival of the Europeans in our country India. Now let us have a short recap of the chapter which I have taught you today. Now already we have studied about the people in our country India, the Indian commodities like Muslim, silk, black people, spices of our country India was famous in the European countries. The Arabs from the northwest were coming in our country India with the intention of the trade from the land route, but slowly and gradually the land route stopped. Now to get the benefit of all the Indian commodities, they decided, all the European countries decided to have a trade in our country India. The first person who made an effort, who made a particular idea to find a sea route to our country India, that was Christopher Columbus. He was an Italian explorer who started his journey from Italy, but he just had the wrong misconception that moving from east to west he is going to reach our country India, but actually accidentally he reached America, and still also that part is known as West Indies, and the people are known as the Red Indians. The first person who just discovered the sea route to our country India, that was Vasco da Gama, who was belonging to the Portugal. Now he started his journey from Portugal, Lisbon, and circling the Cape of Good Hope, he reached our country India on 22nd May 1498. During that time, Zamorin was ruling in our country India. He gave them the permission, and in the year 1500 CE, Albuquerque was given the responsibility to maintain the forts in the part of the Calicut. In 1506, they just captured Goa, and within 100 years of time, they established their power in our country India. But later on, when they started their trade in Bengal with the complaint of Nawab of the Subedar of Bengal, Shah Jahan ordered to demolish the ships which was being used by the Portuguese people in our country India, and their Portuguese rule get limited to Diu, Daman and Goa. Later on, the Dutch people came to our country India. They established their power in our country India. They established their forts in our country India. But later on, when the Britishers came to our country India, they were not able to sustain a competition against the Britishers. Later on, the third one who came to our country India, they were the Britishers. In the year 1600 CE, with the granted permission of Queen Elizabeth, they established British East India Company. Within 8 years, they just understand about the strategy of the people of our country India, who is going to have the problems to the British East India Company, and the first one who set his foot in the country India from the British side, from the England side, that was Warren Hawkins. But he did not have the permission to trade in our country India, but Sir Thomas Roy, with the bribe given to Jahangir, he just agreed Jahangir to give the permission to trade in our country India. Later on, they started having the interest in the trade in Bengal. Now Aurangzeb was a Mughal ruler, an emperor who was considered to be the downfall in for the Mughal Empire in our country India. He just gave the Britishers, the British East India Company, a permission to have a trade in Bengal without paying the taxes. And because of that only, along with the company, British East India Company merchants, other British officers who were belonging to the private company, they also get the benefit of not paying the taxes. This not paying of the taxes problem was first of all opposed by Murshid Ali Khan, was same followed by Ali Baldi Khan, and the third one, that was Sirajuddaulah. Sirajuddaulah just make a rule that whosoever French people, Portuguese people, Indians or the Britishers, whosoever want to have a trade in my country, in my part Bengal, they have to pay the taxes. Now with the negotiation, with the talks, Sirajuddaula was not getting angry. So Robert Clive was being called from England to India to just handle this situation. Now, as Sirajuddaula was not having any interest in the negotiation and talks, Mir Zafar, who was the commander-in-chief in the army of Sirajuddaula, was given the bribe by Robert Clive that if you are going to support us to defeat and murder Sirajuddaula, you will be the next king of the next Nawab of the Bengal. And later on, Sirajuddaula in the year 1757, just in the Battle of Plassey, being defeated and being murdered by the Britishers, and that is known as the turning point for the Britishers to start their political power in our country, India. As per the promise, Mir Zafar was become the Nawab of Bengal. Robert Clive went back to the England. Now, as the problem which was being faced by Murshid Ali Khan, Ali Khan, Sirajuddaula, the same problem was being faced by Mir Zafar, and he started opposing the Britishers. So, because of opposing with the British East India Company, he was being replaced by Mir Qasim, and the same problem was also being faced by Mir Qasim, and there was a battle. First of all, he was alone defeated by the British East India Company. Then he just formed an army with the Nawab of Oudh, Sujatullah, and Emperor Shah Alam II. But in the Battle of Buxar, again he was being defeated in the year 1764, and by this way Mir Qasim was being defeated, and here was the ending for the Mughal Sultans to have their establishment of power in our country, India. So already, along with the explanation, with a short summary, I have explained you a chapter in short. So thank you, take care, goodbye.